I've made a tier list with the help of some of the highest rated players. We've included strategies for each of the top heroes so you'll know why they're strong and how to play them.
Content for you!
Some of them are amazing with certain minion types, but much weaker without them. So make sure you watch the tips before you pick your hero. Our first S tier hero is Hooktusk. She went from being a mediocre hero to absolute top tier due to changes made to the tier 1 minions. We now have a significant amount of economy units, with Alley Cat, River Skipper, Busker, and Seer. By using the hero power on tier 1 minions, you can make extra gold, which is incredibly powerful in the early game. On top of that, the hero power is super good at completing certain quests. If you have a quest to play a certain minion type, Hooktusk gives you a decent chance at playing one extra per turn. Getting Alley Cats or River Skippers, for example, is amazing at summoning extra units. It's for this reason you want to make sure that you have access to as many tier 1 economy units as possible. Check your lobby for beasts, murlocs, pirates, and demon or naga before you lock her in. Ideally, you'd have at least 2 of these in your lobby, more is better. Flurgle now has access to both Tad and River Skipper. These are amazing murlocs to get from the hero power, as they already give you 2 out of 5 of the required minions to get your next hero power proc. If you ever get a quest to play murlocs, he's incredibly good at completing this very fast. XQN, the current rank 1 player in Europe, loves to rush to tier 5 to try and find Bran. Once you have him, you have close to infinite gold due to all the battle cries you can now play for free. Cards such as Tavern Tempest, Reef Explorer, and of course Primal Fin. These cards then help you proc your hero power, which not only gives you extra gold, but helps you hit your murloc comp. Your main goal is to hit a Bream counter and support from Coral Murgler and base skill. Extra payoffs such as a Primitive Painter and Merglin Burglar are also great. If you get good cards to play elementals or pirates, feel free to do so as well. As long as you're playing a strategy that revolves around cycling cards, Flurgle is a top tier hero. Because of this, make sure you pick him in a lobby that is either elementals or pirates, preferably both. Maiev. Maiev has excellent economy in the early game. With the addition of tier 1 economy cards we've already discussed, she has more gold to work with early than almost any other hero. Turn 1, you ideally get a lasso or recruit spell, so you have 1 gold left over for the hero power. Prioritize Alley Cat, River Skipper, Busker, or Seer. If you didn't hit either of these spells, you can still buy a card like Alley Cat or River Skipper, sell it, and use the hero power. On turn 2, you buy 1 card and hero power. Turn 3, you level to tier 2, usually with a hero power. Don't be afraid to hold some of these economy units in your hand if you can. They don't contribute much to the fights, and when the quest rolls around, you could potentially complete it in 1 to 2 turns because you get extra credit this way. You could get a quest to play 4 Murlocs or Pirates, for example, and already have a River Skipper and a Busker in your hand. You would just need to buy 2 more from the shop, or get 1 from the Skippers, and boom, quest complete. As with the previous heroes, Maiev relies heavily on having access to these early economy units. Check your lobby for Beasts, Murlocs, Pirates, and Demon Naga before picking her. Same as before, you'd like at least 2 of these to be available. Ajara. This might be the most surprising hero in S tier. Peter Babbitt, the number 2 player in North America at this time, loves playing her. This is because the new buffed Deep Blue strategy is very strong and underrated at this moment. Blizzard buffed Deep Blue to scale +2/+3 while nerfing most of the overpowered comps at the same time. On top of that, Wrathscale Rogue makes the attack your Deep Blues give permanent, or even double it if you have a golden version. This means that every minion on your board can be a threat, which is very strong. Look for Zesty Shaker and Lava Lurker on tier 2. As soon as you have your hero power online, go to tier 4 and use it to find Deep Blue Crooner. Once you're stable, you can level to tier 6 to try and find Matriarch or Wrathscale Rogue from the hero power. Don't forget to add a permanent shield to your Lava Lurker with Glow Scale at some point. Sire Denathrius. The most recent patch buffed Sire's armor to 13, which was the little bump he needed to be placed in S tier. Quests are easier to complete the more starting armor a hero has, though Sire benefits twice as much from an armor buff. Most of the time you're going to pick whichever quest is the easiest to complete. Sometimes, however, the reward is so good or the alternative is so bad, think of Tumbling Disaster, that you're embarking on a difficult quest. Make sure that your other quest is easy and use that quest reward to protect your life total while you're completing the difficult one. Once you have your big quest reward online, use that to get a big advantage over your opponents. Cenarius. Cenarius benefits a lot from quest meta. That's because opponents will often hold cards in their hand to complete the quest faster, saving you health while your board is still weak. Your first 3 turns look like this. Turn 1, Hero Power. Turn 2, Hero Power plus buy a 2-cost spell. Make sure you freeze this on turn 1 if you see it. If you didn't find it, just buy the 1-cost spell. Turn 3, Hero Power and level to tier 2 while buying a 1-cost spell. You now have 3 extra gold per turn to complete your quest, allowing you to complete it faster than many of your opponents. Bran. Bran has 2 big advantages this meta. He has high armor, which makes his quests easier to complete, and some quests are downright broken with an early Bran. Think of Magic Fin Relic or Snicker Snacks for example. You could have access to either of these and the Bran as early as turn 4 or 5, giving you a massive lead over your opponents. You don't always have to level on turn 2 with Bran. If your shop has great battle cries such as Alley Cat or Busker, it's totally fine to level on turn 3 instead. You can even hold 1 or 2 battle cries on turn 3 so that you can instantly complete a battle cry quest on turn 4. Murlocs, Pirates, and Elementals are Bran's best types. You want to have access to at least 2 of these when you pick him. Bonus points for Beasts so you can roll Alley Cat early to rush your Bran. Gallywix. Gallywix is our last S tier hero. He was buffed from 5 to 8 armor, making his quests a little easier to complete. You can consider his hero power a powerful quest reward of its own. If you survive, you'll end up with infinite gold eventually. For that reason, Gallywix does not have to take a super risky quest to win the game. You can take an easier one and let the hero power do most of the heavy lifting. Quests that involve playing battle cries or minion types are much easier on Gallywix, as your hero power will give you additional gold for selling these units. Make sure you have access to sufficient economy cards before locking in Gallywix. Look out for Elementals, Murlocs, and Pirates, as these types will make it much easier to end up with infinite gold. A tier, Guff. Guff is very similar to Gallywix. His hero power can be considered a quest reward of its own. Once you make it to tier 5 with a Bran, you can trigger this hero power multiple times per turn by cycling high tier battle cries such as Rodeo Performer. This then gives you free 6-drops to win the game. The reason he's A tier instead of S tier is that it takes longer for his hero power to kick in. It's unlikely to help you complete your quest. Elementals, Murlocs, and Pirates are very good minion types for Guff. Make sure you have at least 2 of them before you pick him. Master Wind. This hero has always been good, and a recent patch saw his armor buffed from 8 to 12, making it much easier to complete his quests. Prioritize early hero powers that generate economy, such as Hooktusk, Maev, or Cenarius. After that, use whichever hero power helps you complete the quest faster or improves your board to most, preferably both. Marin. By the time you choose your lesser trinket, you already have your quest. Sometimes you get to pick cool synergies such as Compass that gives you the type of the minion you need for your quest. Don't worry if this isn't the case. It's totally fine to pick a strong neutral trinket such as Book of Medivh and stay flexible. Millhouse. Millhouse is not an easy hero to play. Because minions only cost 2 gold, economy is even stronger. Any minion that makes 1 gold such as Shell Collector is effectively free and should be bought early on. Pick quests that involve playing certain minion types or battle cries, seeing as it's much cheaper to buy those on Millhouse. Elementals are absolutely crucial for Millhouse. Refreshing Anomaly is how you pay for your rolls. Because of this, you'll almost always want a Bran on your board. Ideally, Pirates and Murlocs are also in to give you access to more economy, which is very powerful on Millhouse. George. Outside of the quest meta, George would be a very bad hero, but the 20 armor is enough to compensate for his very weak early game. By getting an easy quest, George can compete with the other heroes early on. On top of that, you get a powerful late game hero power, shielding your board, forcing the opponent to run a Tunnel Blaster, meaning they can only play 6 real units. If they never find the blaster, you're very likely to win the fight by default. Don't bother using the hero power early, you're almost always going to end up selling that minion later on. Only use it if you have no good way to spend the last 2 gold. Rafam. Rafam's hero power gives him additional minions early on, which is very good to complete quests faster. Because the hero power only costs 1 gold, the minion you steal ends up being completely free. In addition to that, undeads are quite strong at the moment. A lot of opponents will taunt their friendly Geist or Carapace Razor, making it easy for you to get golden copies. Exarch Otar. This hero has a nice balance between a good armor total and a useful hero power. You're never sad to pick him up, regardless of the types in the lobby. By turn 4, you've been able to hero power twice. This means spells such as Chef's Choice, Lasso, or Recruit are entirely free this turn, giving you a higher chance for an early quest completion. Don't be afraid to pick up a good one-cost spell such as Careful Investment, even if you've already hero powered twice. You're still adding 2 gold to the next turn that can be used to buy minions instead of only spells. ETC. You'll almost always go tier 3 on turn 3 with ETC. That's because most good early economy buddies are on tier 3. Some examples are Loyal Henchman, Little KT, or Brand's Epic Egg. Snack Vendor is also a solid tempo pick because your board will be mostly 3-drops. Use this extra gold to complete your quests and or power level to snowball your advantage. Jandis. Alley Cat is a great starting unit on Jandis. You can use your hero power to swap it back into shop and get a free early triple off the token. You can also use her hero power to quickly complete quests such as play battle cries or any specific type, as you can recycle the same unit over and over and still get credit for your quest. Jandis is very powerful with mechs in the late game. If you have Beatboxer on your board, you can put magnetics on top of a regular magnetic. You then swap this magnetic back in the shop and magnetize it on top of a new one. The Beatboxer will then receive all of the buffs you've applied onto this magnetic minion. This means that if you've attached 5 Accordatrons, the Beatboxer will give you an extra 5 starting gold every time you magnetize this minion. You can use that extra gold to find more Beatboxers and utility drones, scaling your board out of control. Nobundo. This is our final A-tier hero. A recent patch buffed Nobundo's armor to 13, making it easier to complete quests. Use this hero power early on to copy spells such as Chef's Choice and a new Sprout, to rush quests that require you to play a type. If you happen to find Strike Oil, you've hit the jackpot. You can now gain an extra starting gold every turn for only 2 gold, which is very powerful. B tier. Lich has a decent combination of armor and hero power utility. By using your hero power early on, you're taking damage, but because you're buying minions for 2 gold instead of 3, you end up being stronger than your average opponent. This then results in 1 battles, and the total health cost of these units is likely 0. Sometimes you even end up with more health than if you hadn't hero powered at all. On top of that, you're also able to complete your quest faster. It's easier to buy more units, and the high armor means your quest won't be that difficult. Mr. Bigglesworth. This hero is very similar to George. Not very good usually, but the high armor and useful late game hero power make it a solid pick during quest meta. Rat King. Usually you get a nice bonus by being able to buy the 1-cost spell turn 1 by using your hero power instead of buying a minion. Turn 3 is also very clean, as you won't need to rely on getting a good spell. You can just hero power and buy another minion. Because of this, Rat King usually wins his early fights, making up for his slightly lower armor. You'll generally use the hero power every turn, at least until your board is full. From that moment on, you should only use it if the type can be useful to you or if you have 2 gold left over. Silas. Silas loves spamming cards to get more tickets. This playstyle is great for quest meta, as quests very often want you to do the same thing. Buying minions, playing types, adding cards to the hand, you name it. After speedrunning your quest, you'll be left with a great late game hero power. Try to make it to tier 5 and buy cheap cards with tickets on them, preferably battle cries when you already have a brand. You can then use the hero power to fish for a golden brand or other great tier 5 units to win the game with. Patchwork. You might be afraid to pick Patchwork because he has 0 armor. But when it comes to quests, the difficulty gets adjusted to that of a 15 armor hero. This is confirmed by the devs, but not known by many players. Because of Patchwork's high starting health, you can afford to hold cards in your hand on turn 3 to hopefully complete your quest faster. This way you get to trade a little bit of health for value, which is a great trade for Patchwork. If your shops aren't great, don't be afraid to level to tier 4 faster. This is another way Patchwork gets to use his extra health to gain a better board. Snake Eyes. At the beginning of quest meta, she only had 5 armor, and quest difficulty was way too high. She's since been buffed to 9 armor, which helps a lot. If you roll a 1 on your first turn, do not roll on turn 2. This is because you want to spend 4 gold to tier, and the extra gold is likely going to be very ineffective. Apart from that, you should roll every turn to see if you can level faster while still adding good units to your board. Alex Straza. Alex has pretty low armor, so try to avoid taking early damage whenever you can. Do not hold cards on turn 3, for example. Your goal is to level to tier 4 on turn 5. That's the 7 gold turn. You'll have to either sell a unit or use a coin to hero power on the same turn. You're looking for strong tempo dragons such as Promo Drake to stabilize quickly. After that, you can set up a blue whelp with Wind Fury to start scaling your spells, which will help you make a big Charmwing later on. If Nagas are in, you can combo Charmwing with Ratscale Rogue to add a lot of health and damage to an all-type minion. Place a Poet in between these amalgams to make the stat gains permanent. Togwaggle. While Togwaggle only has 11 armor, his quest requirements are sometimes deceptively easy. By using the hero power, you spend a lot more gold than other heroes, and you can sell unwanted minions to level in the same turn, or save the gold for next turn. Adding cards to the hand and acquiring specific types are also much easier for Togwaggle. When the quest turn rolls around, your hero power will cost 8 gold. For this reason, it's important that you buy every economy unit you can during the first 3 turns. Ideally, you cast Careful Investment on turn 3, which will bump your gold up to 8 on turn 4. Perfect for a hero power. Make sure that you don't pick a quest that needs you to buy minions, as the hero power does not count towards that. Togwaggle works best in the lobby with lots of economy, so look out for Murlocs, Elementals, and Pirates. Yogg. This is our final B tier hero. Similar to Lich and Rat King, Yogg can buy minions for only 2 gold, which helps a lot in the early game. The 1/1 stat gain and discount usually make up for the random steal, and sometimes you hit exactly the minion you wanted, which makes for very good turns. Consider leveling to tier 3 on turn 4 as Yogg. You can then sell your weakest unit to hero power. On turn 5 you can either sell another weak unit to hero power and double buy, or level straight to tier 4 if your shop is bad. Because you're winning your early fights, Yogg can usually get away with this faster leveling curve. C tier. These heroes are still strong and you shouldn't feel bad about picking them. They're just not premium like the ones we've already discussed. D tier. These heroes are not great, so only pick them up if you feel really comfortable with them and you don't like the alternatives. E tier. Statistically speaking, you're going to lose MMR whenever you pick one of these heroes, so try to avoid it whenever you can. F tier. In this particular meta, do not pick these heroes.